There will be two parts of this video. One's going to have the basic leveling guide as well as some tips to help you level. And then the other part is going to be demonstrating an advanced leveling guide that I don't suggest new players do. However, I do suggest you watch the second part of the video in order to actually understand some of the mechanics of the game. So to start off, I'm going to give you some tips. I suggest you get the level 16 EXP weapon, if possible. If you have a friend that can help get it for you, that'd be even better if they've already started the game. To find out what your EXP weapon is called, you go over here to the marketplace, whatever you have your market button assigned to, or you can go to the game menu to get there. And then you're going to go to whatever weapon you have. If you're a Haru, for example, you're going to have the Solemn. Click on that, change the level to 16, change the grade level to unique, and then search. And then over here, you'll see it says EXP from enemy 10%. That's going to be your EXP weapon. So in the case of Haru, it's going to be the mechanical cleaver. You could either buy one of those, or you can look up a blueprint over here by typing mechanical cleaver in there. And yes, caps do matter. And then you could buy one from here. However, these are pretty overpriced. The prices of those did skyrocket as not that many people are farming them. If you want to farm them, which I don't suggest you do, you can go to the Joker, which is the level 11 dungeon, and spam that on Maniac mode. And then it's a very low chance for it to drop. Whenever you get gear from dungeons that you're not going to use, you're going to dismantle it. And if you're going to upgrade your weapon, only upgrade it to +4. It's not worth it for you to upgrade your armors, by the way. Once you go past +4, it becomes insanely hard for it to upgrade. And on top of that, it has a chance to explode. Not worth it. 100% do not do it, especially on early levels. If you get any EXP gear from dungeon, I suggest you use those, as the stats you get early game don't really matter. Obviously, if you get like higher EXP, you're going to want to equip that instead, especially if it's on better gear. But if you're not going to take enough damage for it to matter early game, or rather, it's not going to mitigate enough damage for it to matter early game. So just use whatever EXP gear you can get from dungeons, or if you can snipe some from the marketplace, that works as well. So as far as actual leveling goes, for the most part, you're going to be following the main story quest, which is this little yellow thing right here. As you're doing the main story quest, blue exclamation marks will pop up on the map. You're going to be wanting to claim and do those if they follow your main story quest. So let's say my main story quest is on here, and I have a quest on here. I'm not going to want to go back to episode 1 to do the side quest, as it's not going to give me enough EXP. I'd rather just run episode 2 because I'm locked out of doing this right now. If you are locked out of doing the main story quest, you're going to want to run the previous episode, unless you are past this first little zone right here, in which case you're going to want to start running Maniac mode. Maniac mode on this first zone is way too hard for players to do unless you actually understand what you're doing. So let's pretend that my main story quest is over here. Let's say it's locked out on Doom and Gloom, and I'm on Indomitable. Well, then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to go to Maniac mode, and I'm going to want to run that. Preferably, if you can, in a party, which is what the auto team is for, but you don't always find people for the party, so you might have to run it solo. If you end up dying to the boss, that's okay. You've already gained most of the EXP. In fact, that ties into the method. I'm going to talk about it a bit. Once you get to the second town, and you can no longer follow the storyline if you're too high level, what you're going to want to do, too low level rather, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do Maniac Mission 4 spam. So the Mission 4 gives the most EXP out of all the missions, even the future ones, no matter what zone it is. So let's say I'm over here on R Square, and I'm on Soulless, but I can't continue over to Doom and Gloom or whatever, because that's where my main story quest is. Instead of running Soulless, I'm going to want to go back over here and run whatever mission 4 there is of the previous zone, because that's the highest mission 4 I can run. Once again, that's only for the second town and above, because the first town is not worth it. It's way too hard to run Maniac Mission 4 solo. If you can find a team, I suppose you could run it as well, but you're not going to kill the boss early on, most likely. Even I have troubles killing the boss. So the second part of this video is going to talk about the suicide method, if you know what that is. So to understand the suicide method, you're going to have to understand what we were just talking about earlier with the episode 4 spam on Maniac mode. You're going to be starting that as soon as possible if you want a power level. In order to power level and get the most efficiency per energy spent, you need to understand that when you first enter in a dungeon, you're only going to use half the energy cost. So if I enter in Greedy Zone over here, I'm only going to use 4 energy, and then once I kill the boss, I'm going to use another 4 energy. So to get the most EXP per energy spent, you're going to just kill all the mobs up until the boss on Maniac mode, and then you're going to suicide to the boss so you don't use the extra 4 energy or whatever it's going to be. However, I do not recommend this for new players because you do not get this progress right here. And that progress is important in order to get the Akasha cards right there, or Akasha transmitters, and anti-destructions. I regret doing this Maniac mode suicide stuff, but if you really want to, you feel like you need to catch up, you really want to power level, maybe go play with your friends sooner, then go ahead. That method is there for you. But if not, I suggest you don't do it. Also, auto team people think you're a dick if you do it, so keep that in mind. Anyway, that's it for this leveling guide. If you want to see more videos later on, just let me know what you want to see. And peace.